Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. My INTJ and I celebrated our fight early this year. So we decided that we were going to celebrate Valentine's Day, which we have never really super celebrated in the past. But every once in a while, when I want him to show me a little bit of extra love, I make us participate. But I forget what my husband is like. And just because I need it and want it and crave it doesn't mean he will participate and willingly participate. So he reluctantly participates and tolerates me and tries to pretend like he cares, but he doesn't. And so I figured we had a Whopper this year and we just fought. We went to Texas Roadhouse and we went to Texas Roadhouse last night and we fought the entire time about how I want him to be more loving and how he's like, why are you making me do this? And you know, why can't the few times I say I love you? Because I don't find, okay, so ENFPs are romantics. We love the idea of love and showing expressions. And in my mind, when I married him, I really believed that if I could work and earn his love, that he would just open up and all of a sudden become this kind of INFJ. Where he would be tender and deep and he just wasn't showing me it. No, it's just not there. They're logical and they never change. And you have to accept them for what they are, not what you want them to be. And INTJs hate expectations placed on them. And we would fight anytime there was a big holiday. He will give me grand gestures of love, but in his timing. And if you try to force that, they will make you pay. So, for example, Valentine's Day. Because things just don't ever go the way that you have expectations that they'll go. And everyone, it feels like all these other women are being treated with love but they're being forced because their husband only shows them love on that day. So I'm definitely not jealous. I'm glad that he's authentic with his displays of love. They're few and sparing, but they're very authentic. When he does, he means it. But it's sometimes hard for an ENFP to wait and just be like, okay, this is what I get. I can't improve the situation I have no control over. You're just a part of it, and you can't expedite it. You can't. They have tons of feelings of love for you, but it's like because they don't like to feel vulnerable. Once they got you, they don't show it to you. I mean, my husband is the most loving when he's drinking, and that's when he says all the things that he won't tell me when he's sober. And it drives me nuts because to me that feels inauthentic. But we've fought about this over and over. But we've always fought on Mother's Day, Christmas, any holiday that I love or want him to show a little bit of expression and kind of force it, or is expected of him to show expression. He usually is not only he will not only not participate, but usually he's mean and cruel that day. So he'll, like on Mother's Day one year, he told me what a bad mom I was because of all the things that I didn't do. And I bawled and I'm like, where is this coming from? But if you could take yourself out of the emotion and you could track all the days that we've ever fought, it's usually on holidays. Why? Because he hates expectations being placed on him. Because he sees it as inauthentic. He sees it as me forcing something that he doesn't feel, and he doesn't want to be like everyone else. So he is going to not participate in the fact that I make him he usually just like, it's like he subconsciously does it. It's not like he's intentionally like, I'm, Valentine's Day, I'm going to be really mean to her. It's like his entire body rebels, and he's like, no, I can't help myself. I'm going to be mean to her today, and show her that she can't force me to love her. And it used to confuse me and make me sad, especially before MBTI. I was very confused as to why all these other women are accepting love and I'm just not. And I used to just be really upset and I used to cry. And then I started to get over it because I realized after the MBTI, which made me realize that I wasn't crazy, that he was hard. And one of the few things that he has done for me, it was a grand gesture, is he sent me a love song just randomly one day, and by Lee Bryce, Hard to Love. And he'll do things like that, and when he means it, and he'll send notes to me, and he does these things, but he does not do them out of obligation. He does them out of genuine feeling and emotion that cannot be placed on him. So last night, after we were done fighting at Texas Roadhouse, and then you sit there and you're like, why did we waste, $80 hating each other and drinking? Because I had to drink more because he was driving me nuts. And so you sit there and you're like, well, why did we waste a perfectly great night fighting? Why? We have 3 kids. We live in a camper. Why did we waste this night fighting? And we live in a camper because my husband travels. So for anyone, I have a video linked that explains the reason why we live in a camper. So anyways, but so we came back and tried to salvage what was left of the night, or I tried to salvage what was left of the night. He could have just gone to bed. He didn't care. So he's tired, or he comes, or I say, let's watch a movie when we were at Texas Roadhouse. And he's like, yeah, that's great. He comes home, starts getting ready for bed. And I could tell he's like getting ready to go to sleep. And I'm like, I thought we were going to watch a movie. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, what movie do you want to watch? Well, I want to watch Sneakers because I just was in the mood of, like, I love 90s. I love 90s action movies. Love it. And Sneakers is totally underrated, by the way. But Hulu and Netflix didn't have it on, and I didn't want to deal with the bugginess of 2 movies. So, anyways, so then I decided to watch a romantic movie because it seemed like the best one out of the few that they had. And it was called Message in a Bottle and had Kevin Costner. And so I asked Scott, I said, so can we watch this? And he said, fine. Is it a kissing movie? Referencing Princess Bride. And I was like, yeah, okay. So we were watching, and he's like, so she finds this bottle. And he's like, why is she keeping it? It's not hers. The movie would already be over by now if this were me. I would just throw it back. I wouldn't even read it because it's not mine to read. It's none of my business. And I was like, boy, are you a killjoy? You're not even a little bit curious to look at the note? No. I think she should just throw it back. Let's see, what else did he say? Yeah, she should just throw it back. End of movie. So Kevin Costner was just all about love. He played the role of an INFJ, and it was sweet, and it kind of broke my heart a little bit because sometimes I need that expression that my husband refused to give to me because I needed that expression. That's the reason why I forced him to do Valentine's Day, forgetting that I can't force my husband to do anything. So and his comment was, so he has nothing better to do with his time than love women? And he said it really super confused. And women just love him for that? Must be nice. No bills, just has his boat and loving women. So another thing that he referenced is, why is the boat barely rocking, but the other one blew over? At the end of the movie, at the credits, he's like, he turns to me and scowls. And he's like, giant waste of time. And so that's what it's like to watch a romantic movie with an INTJ. They can't help but stop their brain and all the criticisms they have. And my husband predicts almost every movie what's going to happen. And he can't just sit there. And even though I know what's going to happen, I enjoy the process a little bit more. And he just doesn't. So he loves the movies, the few, like, handful that will throw him off, that they're hard to find, because we could write scripts. So it's very hard because we know what's going to happen. We know what they want. We know when they're leading us. We know where they're leading us, and we love to predict all that stuff. But sometimes it gets annoying because he can't just sit there and enjoy a movie. Something else that I wanted to talk about was love languages. So my husband and I have the opposite love languages. I am words of affirmation. I love a little bit of compliment, or compliment goes a long ways. Just a little bit of genuine. It can't be inauthentic, but because I can smell that. I can smell because then it comes off as like flattery. I don't want flattery. I want someone to really mean what they say. But I really want someone to express themselves, and that is the opposite of my husband. My husband and I have polar opposite love languages. His is acts of services, which I absolutely loathe. So cleaning a bathroom makes you feel loved. That doesn't make any sense to me either. We're like, and he doesn't want to write out words and he's just like, why do you need this? And I'm like, why do you need yours? So we typically settle for quality time. Both of us really match up with quality time. And that's what that's our consolation prize. And we really enjoy it. Also, he has really gotten good at gifts, because he knows that's a pretty high one for me too, is I like to be thought of, and for someone to really get me, and he'll get me, and because I'm a novel person, so he'll get me gifts, and he'll make me, he actually does pretty well. And so, in fact, for my birthday, he will really go all out. That's the one day he doesn't super sabotage, and which I'm grateful for. And Christmas, he actually tries a little bit harder too. But I don't know why those days are a little bit different. But Mother's Day and Valentine's Day and our anniversary can be bad. So anyways, just to wrap it up, since my dog is barking, I hope you guys have an amazing Valentine's Day. And remember, self-care is very important. So if you don't have anyone, don't feel bad. Just focus on being the best version of yourself. Anyways, have a great Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.